Hi, this is Kara from the Pure Rock Shop, and I'm here in the home and studio of vocalist D.C. Cooper in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You're most known as the frontman of the Danish band Royal Hunt. D.C., thanks for talking to us today.
Thank you for being here. And it's very rare that I get to do an interview in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you've taken time away from your home, so we appreciate this. It's hard to believe it's been like 20 years since we did an interview, and I can still remember sitting with you at Max and Irma's, going through your scrapbooks of old bands locally here in Pittsburgh.
The Tongue Bandits, yeah, it's been quite a while. We shouldn't say 20 years. It was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. And one of the things that you were working on back then, you weren't with Royal Hunt at the time. You were working on your solo album and working with the guys from Pink Cream 69. So we just met up with them earlier this year and saw them for the first time on Monsters of Rock, which was very cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or you have any plans to do anything with Dennis or anyone from the band in the future again?
I'm always up for working with Dennis. Most of the second solo album's still in the works.
Okay, that's been a while.
Yeah, and I'll play you privately a couple tracks before you take off. But the biggest thing is, and I'm kind of setting on it because it depends on what's with the record company and the publishing company and stuff like that. I'm setting on it for a while. And it's not done yet. I mean, basically, to be honest with you, I ran out of money. I'm financing it myself for this many years, so I might as well just keep rolling along because I don't want to give that high of a percentage away, for peanuts. So we'll see what happens there, but there's still a lot of work to do on it. I would like for Dennis Ward to, we've talked a couple times about him doing like the mix and master on it, but I'm not in a, there's a bunch of stuff going on right now, but it's coming yet. Before they close the casket, it's going to come out, so.
Well, so, in the meantime, you've reunited with Royal Hunt and you guys put out an album, Cast in Stone, earlier this year. Tell us about the new album. I love the new album. We were able to play, we just come back from tour. I come home a couple weeks ago. Russia, Japan, Hungary, Greece, Denmark, and somewhere else. I'm missing somewhere. But it was kind of a short tour, and we wanted to do it just to basically, because we didn't want it to prolong or go any further as far as schedule-wise. So we had those confirmed, and we just kind of compacted it in. But the album, it's got a little bit more of a raw edge to it, like getting back to, to me it has a Deep Purple sound. It's going back to kind of like the roots of the stuff that we used to listen to, we still do. Right.
But Million Ways and Fistful is, they're like two of my favorite tracks, and we were able to perform those live on this tour, so had a blast doing that. And but the process of how it used to be, since I rejoined Royal Hunt, I record all the vocals here and I ship them off over to Denmark, and I do that with any, I've been on 45, 46 albums in my career, and a good portion of them happened here. Because now with Pro Tools and the internet and trading files and WAV files and everything, it's really easy to just ship them off. So you're saving on studio time, or you're saving on studio time, flights, hotels, all that stuff. So the bad part about it is sometimes I'm up here in my studio till 5 o'clock in the morning, and I forget that I have to get up at like 8 o'clock or something like that, But and the one thing I do miss about it, and we've talked about it, about the next time, quote unquote, the next time. Where I am with them, because I miss the camaraderie, of working with, like Dennis Ward and I, whenever we work together, we have a blast whenever we're working together. And I shouldn't just say him, but, him, Gary Verkamp, and just numerous other producers I've worked with. It's that banter back and forth. It's like, you're able to bounce ideas off of each other.
Right.
Which sometimes here, whenever I'm by myself...
Yeah, I was going to say, what's collaboration like when you're here
crazy.
And everybody else is somewhere else?
Skype, lots of Skype calls, Skype videos. You send MP3 samples over. You send, just maybe a chorus, or you send a verse or something like that. And he'll listen to it, but it kind of prolongs it. But we're always under time schedule, so. you know, it sometimes gets down to the wire where it's just like he'll send me like little snippets in one track, and all I do is I just fix them, and then he just loads them up. And so the collaboration is definitely a little bit more difficult, but we stay in touch, and that's like with any project that I work on and I do. Everybody has Skype, and I have Skype here, and you know,
technology certainly changed a lot, making it easier for people to work remotely. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, cool. So, you know, we've been playing A Million Ways to Die in rotation on WNJR locally here.
And it's number one, right? It's the number one on your playlist. It's requested all the time. And, people are calling all the time.
We'll have to get you to do some liners to introduce it for us.
So we can do that. I'll make sure that you guys have some other music, too, to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know you guys, you know, have a short break right now, but you're going back out on the road in August. We saw that you're doing a festival in Spain with some guys we just met up with last month, Crazy Licks from Sweden, which is a great band that'll be on the show as well. Have you played this festival before? I don't even know how to pronounce it, so I'm kind of afraid to say what the name of it is. It's like Ricole or something like that.
Yeah, there's a way to pronounce it. I'm not sure.
Spanish that I'm.
Spain. I have to even look and see who all's on the bill. I'm not even sure. I know we have a good time slot ourselves, and but it's not announced yet. But it's like right now in the works. We should be doing one other festival in Romania, and then. You know, like that's not official yet, but neither is us going to Israel. So yeah, that'll be a first for us. Yeah, that'll be a first. But yeah, we're going to try to pack a couple, you know, other shows in there, and hopefully in Spain at least I'm going to take a couple days off and just sit on the beach, drink mojitos or something like that, you know. But it gives us some backlight. That's what it gives us some backlight, so it's not dark back there, you know.
Secret tracks in progress here on the computer.
Yeah, those of you guys, if they heard this song, so, but it's not. It's definitely secret. It's not out there, but yeah, it should be a good time. But yeah, we're going to go out there, and I got some other things in the works. So,
okay. I wanted to ask you. You know, a while ago you were doing like vocal training for some people locally. Is that something you still do?
Unfortunately, no, but I am available to do it. But it's just, I think with a lot of the traveling and touring that I was doing was kind of getting into some other people's schedules.
Yeah.
And, you know, I understand the market, these days. It's very difficult, you know, either whether I was producing a local band or doing vocal training. Because I think the count that I had with the people that I had in and out of here over a period of probably 8 or 9 years, maybe 8 or 10 years.
Yeah.
I had over 120 some vocalists in here. So I do like 4-hour blocks, you know, because you can't really, you know, by the time some people charge a half an hour or even an hour or something. It's like by the time they get warmed up, it's like, well, it's time to go. Okay, you know. So I always do 4-hour blocks, and no, it was really good for a while, but it's very difficult, and I totally understand that. You know, people have, you know, day jobs and things like that, so I'm mainly always working evenings anyhow, but it's, you know, a lot of the bands, even whenever I was even just doing like either co-production or just producing the vocals or something, you know, they'd have to go out and play 4 or 5 local shows to come up with money to spend one night in a studio or spend 2 sessions with me, and I'm not that expensive, but you know, and it's, you know, it's that fine line between how far are you willing to stick your neck out, how much money you want to spend on your career. But I would like to think that I helped a lot of people. I mean, I don't consider myself I call myself a vocal coach, but I'm more of a kind of a troubleshooter, I guess. I mean, I've been flown numerous places where you know, they call me saying, oh, we're having this major problem, we're under the gun, you know, can you fly in? And I just have like certain tricks, I think, and I try to look at people's voices, take them for what they're worth, and work with what they have. Because, you know, whenever you see a singer, they're struggling to do this or do that or something, you go like, that doesn't really feel right. Now, if they would spend 6 months with me in the rehearsal studio and doing the coaching, I think we could get them to certain points. And then there's been other singers where I go like, I just don't think that's achievable, you know, what you're trying to do. Okay. So you focus on what are their strong points, and you try to bring that out. No, there's a lot of there's a lot of just basic, simple things. I mean, breathing technique is huge, especially with, you know, matching with your vibrato or anything. So I'm very analytical whenever it comes to somebody's voice. You know, that's why some people, they hate to go to concerts with me, because I'm not bitching or complaining or anything. I'm like, I think to myself, understanding, go like, man, I would love to sit down and talk to them or go into the studio and work with them, because I think, and I listen for these things, and I go, yeah, I mean, I could help them there and here and here. And my track record, as far as I know, I mean, was pretty much flawless out of everybody, you know, that was, you know, that would come into the studio and would work with me. You know, because we were able to always achieve, we would set goals. We would set early goals too. And, you know, there was a couple different singers that I worked with that, as an example, there was one girl that she sang only opera. Amazing opera voice. Just absolutely beautiful. But she wanted to be a metal singer. She wanted to be a metal goddess, you know? But she had never sung, a country song or a ballad or anything that, you know, she still delivered with that, you know, that voice. And we worked together for almost a year, I think. And she then progressed on and had her own band for quite a while and stuff. And it's more about emotion. It's about emotion. It's about really digging in. You know, whether you're a guitar player, you're a drummer, or anything like that, vocalist especially, you got to dig in, because you're selling a song, you're selling yourself, you got to sell the show. I mean, you guys were just talking, you saw a couple bands, one in particular that we both like. I know these guys, you know, that was Heat, and they deliver. I mean, they come out and they deliver, and you got to sing from your crotch. You got to, that was a big thing with like a lot of the vocal students that I would work with. I'm like, you can't just sing with your diaphragm, you know. I hate that term, sing with your diaphragm, you know, because if you have to find it in your toes, your fingers, or you have to, it's a feeling. It's just a total feeling. So that was one of the things too. Maybe I was a little bit more of an eclectic of a vocal coach or something like that. But you got to dig in and get what you want, because you're selling a story to people, and they're paying good money to come out and see you live. So.
Talking about you being a vocal coach,
so yeah,
so
I would like to get, well, we were talking before, you know, we started the interview about, you know, getting back into music full time.
Right.
And I did full time music for many years, and I always still kind of kept, you know, still was able to keep rolling with music. But after September 11th happened, then I had recertified as a paramedic. Okay. So I ran as a emergency medical technician. So I ran as a medic for quite a few years, and I walked away about 5 years ago, because that just got to be too much. But then, you know, you have kids growing up, and you know, everybody always asks like, well, you know, why aren't you doing this, or why aren't you doing this? And I'm like, well, because life happens. Right. You know, I mean, and the music business isn't the way it used to be at all. You know, so. Yes, you know, I mean, you know, you work other jobs and things like that. Sometimes you have enough energy at night, and sometimes you don't. And I would definitely, you know, there's a couple things that are in the works right now that could hopefully bring me back into the music business full time. So, and it's really wild that I say that, because I mean, literally, this is the, you know, the day before. You know, and Royal Hunt, they know basically where my head's been as far as, you know, the music business, and then just with a lot of other personal things that are going on. And, you know, I was involved in an accident last September that has, you know, still some long-lasting issues that are taking place or that are happening. So I need to watch my health and all that stuff too. So, but right before the tour, man, I was going to quit. I was done with the business. So. I love performing. I love writing. I love recording and everything like that. But all the bullshit that goes with it is just kind of just wasn't panning out. You know, that you have to look at things sometimes whenever you're through your life. But you know, I've been very blessed, and the voice is holding out, and I still have the drive. So after this tour, now I'm all energized, and I got a couple projects in the works and all that stuff. So, but I've been very blessed over the years, because I mean, I've been traveling and touring for, I think, 27 or 28 years, and I've been basically on stage since I was 14 years old. So I feel bad sometimes for a lot of the younger bands that are coming out, you know, and I love seeing them and watch them, and because they have those eyes that are, you know, like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be a rock star, you know, and that is awesome. But even some of the bands that they're getting some of the deals, you know, they're getting the record deals, but they're not the way they used to be. And the publishing and your CD sales are, I just, you know, it's going to be so much harder for them to reinvent themselves, you know, each time, because you basically, you have to reinvent yourself almost every album. You know, you still have your qualities of your previous albums and your personalities and your characters and stuff like that, but you still, I mean, you're only as good as your last album. So if you can't exceed that, then, you know, it's time to maybe move on or try something else, or but, you know, it's you know, you'll see some of these younger bands, they're out there, they're traveling and touring, they're having a blast, but what's going to happen in the next couple of years? Are they going to have the musicianship? Are they going to have that collaboration with other musicians that they're able to continue to keep going, you know? Sorry, that was a sidebar.
That's okay. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and we look forward to hearing what the next chapter is going to be once you get it figured out.
You're very welcome. Thank you for coming.
All right.